Diamante. I always screw it up. Dustin Poirier, kind enough to join us via the magic of Zoom. There he is. Whoa, look at this setup. Dustin, look at you. What are you, a podcaster?
Dude, listen. No, man, I got this just for you. If I'm coming on the Helwani show, I can't come. I got to come correct.
Let's go, Dustin. Seriously, what is this?
I know, like the last few times I've been on, it's been like my Wi-Fi's been messing up.
Yes.
I've been having lagging audio.
Yes.
Things of the past, Ariel. Things of the past.
I love it. Listen, I wasn't going to say, I'm not the one to correct your audio or your video, but yes, you're right. It was a little comme ci, comme ça.
Comme ci, comme ça. I like it.
A little French. Are you getting into the game, or is this just because you want professional sounding quality stuff?
Oh, this is professional. This is Amazon's cheapest thing that I could find overnight, man. This is
Oh, you're the man. I appreciate that very much. Well, good to talk to you. Good to see you. By the way, is it Diamante or Diamante?
Diamante.
Diamante. Okay. I thought I had.
Let me see. How is it in French?
Oh God.
Damn.
A diamond in French?
La diamante.
Le diamant.
La diamant.
Le diamant. You speak French? You're from Louisiana, yes?
My dad speaks fluent French. A lot of my family members do. Very broken. Like the comme ci, comme ça thing, I know that because when we ask each other how we're doing, that's like, I'm doing all right. Comme ci, comme ça.
Right.
Yeah.
In school, do they teach you French in Louisiana?
Yeah.
They do? Wow. Part of the curriculum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the Cajun culture is so strong, and it's all French speaking, the old school Cajuns. So it's very, very alive there.
Right. By the way, we just had Jordan Burroughs on. Are you a fan of his? He's considering going to MMA. What would you say?
Dude, I just did a 2-hour wrestling practice wearing some Jordan Burroughs.
Oh, my God. What do you think? You think he does it?
He definitely has the skills to wrestle and mat wrestle. I mean, fighting is a completely different thing, but, dude, wrestling in general is one of the hardest things you can do. Pushing your body and your mental, So if he can, cross over to the striking, I think he can do very well.
Yeah. It would be a massive deal if he's able to do that, even for one fight. Everyone would love to see it, just like they like seeing
I want to see it.
Oh, my gosh. I would love to see it. Last time we had you on, first episode, it was a big deal back in August. And the Oliveira fight wasn't a done deal. We were kind of trying to figure it out. Nate was out there. There were some options. Ultimately, why'd you go this route? Or was this always the route and you were just kind of, keeping the cards close to the vest?
Well, I mean, I want to be the world champion. That's the goal. But like we always talk about here, we're beating the same drum. I'm a prize fighter.
Right.
The goal was to fight Oliveira for the world title, but it was to do it under the right circumstances. Of course, I still do want to fight Nate, and hopefully we can win one day, But right now it's championship mindset.
I know you well enough now, so I don't go too deep into here, but are they taking care of you for this one?
El Diamante is being taken care of.
Good. Dare I say first time in your career?
No.
Second time?
Second time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's finally coming together.
Time. We're doing all right.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hard work pays off.
So lightweight is fascinating right now, as you know. I'm sure you watched Gaethje Chandler, yes?
Yeah, man, that was fun to watch.
What'd you think of it? What'd you think? You're watching that. You know both guys, right? You never fought Chandler. You obviously beat Justin Gaethje. You're watching that. What are you thinking?
Damn, this is bad for you, is what I'm thinking.
What do you mean?
These guys are crazy, man. Taking damage like that.
Yes.
But I think I beat both those guys. If they fight me the way they fought that night, I beat both those guys.
Yeah, like, do you feel like that's okay for one certain level, but when you're fighting for the belt, you can't be fighting like that, right?
No, you can't. You have to tighten it up. You have to be more technical. You have to be a thinking man, not just a brute in there, not just a wrecking ball, Or you go in there and get matadored. And that's what I would do to those guys if they fought me that way. But Ariel, that's not the fight we're fighting.
No.
We're fighting Charles Oliveira.
Okay, but could I ask you, there's a debate right now. Khabib's getting involved. Everyone's getting involved. Does Gaethje deserve the winner of you versus Oliveira? Does he not? How do you feel about that? Should it be Islam, a guy who hasn't fought for the belt? How do you feel about that? It's your division, and it could matter to you very soon.
Right. I honestly don't think that far ahead into it.
Yeah.
Because I have my hands full. Like I always say, I don't like to look too much into the future. But Gaethje is, this is one fight since the title fight. So obviously he's still the number 2 ranked guy. Islam is on a huge streak. it's not my call. I don't know. Maybe Islam needs to fight one more top contender, and then he's next. I don't know. Maybe Gaethje should fight Islam. That way they settle it. That's the beautiful thing about fighting, right?
That would be
you just fight it out.
Right. Justin Gaethje, interesting guy, shoots from the hip. You know him quite well. Had a very interesting thing to say about you recently. I'm wondering, you probably didn't see it because you're locked in. Could I play you the clip and get your response?
If I just did yesterday, I ran 5 miles with my boxing coach, and he just asked me. He told me the same thing. Like, you see what Gaethje was saying, and he kind of broke it down. But let's see it. I didn't see it.
Okay, here it is. Here's Justin Gaethje speaking to MMA Fighting's Damon Martin about this man, Dustin Poirier.
After I fought Dustin Poirier, I went outside and I took 100, 200 pictures, and I felt great. You know, not one thought or emotion from that fight am I scared to experience again. I know for a fact that when Dustin Poirier has to step in there with me again, he is going to remember and constantly be analyzing that night. He was not out taking pictures. He was probably in the most pain of his fucking life. And if he doesn't land the shot in the first round, he knows he's going to have to go through that again. If he beats Charles Oliveira, I don't know if he fights me. I think he just walks away, calls it good. So I just kind of hope Charles Oliveira wins so that I get to fight him, March, April, May. If Dustin Poirier wins, I'm going to have to really entice him to fucking get in there again.
If he wins, he might walk away? What is that all about? That doesn't sound very Dustin Poirier-like.
No, man, I'm a fighter. I'm fortunate enough now with this year that I've had, I could walk away. It's a great position to be in. But these guys need ass whippings, and I'm the guy to give it to them. And we can't walk away like that, Ariel. The thing is, him saying that, I had a great night that night. I might have had a limp, but I was back at the big Airbnb. We did like a house party. I'm drinking Modelo's, and I was fine,
So when you hear him say that, what are you thinking? What's your takeaway?
He doesn't have any memories, like you said, of going back and looking at the fight because I knocked him out. It's probably kind of cloudy, Right. I remember the night.
Right.
It was a great night.
It's an interesting thing to say about someone who knocked you out. That's why it was striking to me and why I wanted to play it for you today, because some might even forget that the fight happened and that the result was, you would think that he was the one that knocked you out.
Right. Now, you know how this game is, man. It's enticing, right? It makes people interested. It's a hook. He's hoping to bite onto it and beat Oliveira, and then Gaethje, he needs this. I got to give it to him now because he's the one running his mouth. It's the way this game goes. People talk and try to set things up and play the hands that they have, and that's what he's doing. Good on him. Right. I'm a fan of him. I have nothing bad to say about the guy, but I beat him that night in his hometown. What else can I say?
To be clear, though, you win on December 11th. You're not planning on walking away, right?
No, man.
You're just getting started at that point.
I'm a young man in his prime.
Right. So I have heard multiple people try to break down this fight, you versus Charles Oliveira, including Justin Gaethje, in that interview with Damon Martin. And the thing that I hear constantly when people talk about Oliveira is, I don't know if he has the dog in him. I don't know when the going gets tough. Even Chandler predicted that you're going to beat him just before on this show. For some reason, it still feels like people look at Charles Oliveira like the Charles Oliveira who fought, Max Holloway a few years ago, the Charles Oliveira who's on the losing streak. It still feels like people don't believe that he's as good as he currently is. Do you subscribe to that, or do you think he has changed dramatically?
I just went through the same exact conversation with the UFC film crew here shooting the countdown show. They kind of asked me something along these lines. And dude, the thing about fighting is every time the bell rings, we get a live real-time appraisal. Mm-hmm. We change from fight to fight. Things happen. We are in different mental spaces. We're in different physical, positions and in shape or injuries. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. But the beautiful thing is every time that bell rings, it's an appraisal in front of the world. And if we're going off his last appraisal, the guy got hurt and showed grit, came back, won a fight, knocked a former world champion out. Something Gaethje didn't do just, recently. So I don't like to, styles make fights, and I don't like to play into that. But it would be great. Yeah, it would be great if I go out there and touch him up and he quits. Then I'm the world champion. Wow. How nice is that? But the reality is that's probably not going to happen. The guy just, like I said, got an appraisal, showed he has a championship mindset, championship grit, and now he's an undisputed world champion. So there's proof right there.
You know that there have been fighters in this game where people have said, oh, when the going gets tough, they break. Mentally, they don't have that extra thing. Do you think he's that guy that, like, when he is pressed, he breaks?
Exactly. Strumming the same strings, man. He did get pressed. He got hurt. He almost got finished. The bell rang. He came back and won a world championship.
Yeah.
I'm not here to put anybody down, or talk bad about people. People love to try to shit on people. Man, raise the guy up. He's the world champion. It's a tough task, and I'm doing everything I can to put myself in position to compete the best on December 11th for 25 minutes and be the world champion, a goal I set out from a very young age. And that's just it, dude. I don't really play into all this that much.
Yeah. Just so you know where I'm coming from, I think it's a ludicrous statement. You can't get touched up like you did against Michael Chandler in your last fight and then have people question your heart when you come back and win. I think the guy's done enough. They're talking about the 2015 version of Charles Oliveira. I think he has proven that he's come a long way. So I think it's a ridiculous statement. I was just curious if you shared that sentiment or my sentiment. That's all.
But it's one thing to get into this organization and make it to the top, but it's another thing to do it for a decade like he's done. That shows that this guy's a fighter.
Is it kind of nice this time around? Because I know you've talked about this part of the game. There's no trash talk between you guys. It's not personal like the last one. It's just a fight that everyone's looking forward to because of the skill involved, the matchup. Kind of refreshing?
It's nice, but on the same token, this is business, man. We need some Kobe Covington to rub off on this guy so we can sell some tickets, man. I need him to talk some shit so we can sell some pay-per-views.
Come on, you want that? You want him to talk smack?
Hell no, man. Okay. I like the respect. I mean, it would be great for pay-per-view, right?
Right.
I like the respect. I mean, we're going to lay it all out there for 25 minutes, December 11th. There's not a whole lot that can be said that's going to change anything that's going to happen that night. And, like I said, I respect the journey he's had because I've had a similar one, up and down weight class, fought the best guys, had some setbacks, dusted ourselves off, and here we are.
In your mind, are you telling yourself this is my last crack at UFC Gold? Do you think that way?
That's, that thought has crossed my mind. If I don't get this done, what will I have to do to climb this mountain again? But victory is what's going to happen. I just try to push that stuff out with positivity. And on that note, Teddy Atlas texted me this week, and he told me it was simple, short text, but it was inspiring, man. It was one more mountain to climb for the ultimate view. And that's just it. I have one more mountain to climb till I have the best seat in the house, the best view. And damn, it's been a long climb, and we've stumbled a few times, but I'm prepared to do whatever it takes.
Man, you just gave me chills there. No one's better with words than Teddy, right? And it seems like you guys have.
That's what I was telling Mike Brown after Teddy texted me that day. I was talking to Mike, and I was like, dude, it's something so short and simple, something so short and sweet, but it hits a fighter. Like when you're in this game, those things, it means so much more.
Why do you guys have this great connection? I know you've been on his podcast a couple of times. There's something about you that he really admires, and I think the feeling is mutual. Where's this coming from?
I'm not sure. I'm thankful for it, though. He's having the Dr. Atlas Foundation dinner that I think it's happening
Thursday. I'll be there.
Thursday.
I'm going to go.
Yeah, I got the invite. I couldn't make it. I sent some signed gloves for the auction and stuff, but I wish I could be there. He's just a good guy, and the guy who knows fighting and knows how to speak to fighters and say things that hit, for me personally, hit heartstrings that other guys don't know how to say, don't know how to touch somebody who's going through the struggle of fighting for so many years. He knows how to say the right things at the right times.
Yeah, that's this Thursday in honor of his dad. He's been doing it for some 30 or so years on Staten Island. I went 2 years ago. He gets an A-list crew of celebrities there, and then there's little old me off to the side, but I'm happy to be there. What a legend. Maybe next year you can go. By the way, would you ever consider just not going to train with him full time, but because he's such a legend in the boxing world, have you ever thought about going to just hit mitts with him or something like that?
I would love to, man. I really would. He's broken down some footage and sent me some good advice.
Oh, really?
For the second Conor fight before I went to Abu Dhabi, he sent me some good stuff, and I really took it with me into camp and focused on some of the things that he told me.
Going back to this could be the last shot mindset stuff. When that thought starts to creep in, whether it's on a run, at night, whatever, does the feeling terrify you that you won't get to realize the dream that you had since you were a teenager? Like, what is the feeling that you have when you start thinking this is the last one and I need to do this?
It's I just got to slap myself around and say, hey, don't talk to yourself like that. Don't talk to me like that, like I told you before. But that's the thing we're constantly doing, or I'm constantly doing, not just in fighting, in business, everything. Hey, this is all going to work out. But at the same time, on these long runs, when thoughts do creep in like that, this has been such a beautiful. I'm thankful for the journey, honestly. The obstacle is the way, Ariel. The obstacle is the way.
Ooh, and
that's the beauty of what we do.
That's a good one too. Who told you that one?
I don't know, man. I'm just full of it today. I still got my adrenaline going. I'm just kidding. I barely made it in time, man. Okay. I just got done wrestling.
And you were early too. And that's not often as well. So I appreciate that. And so let me ask you this. When you were in Abu Dhabi a couple of years ago, not the last time, 2 times ago, fighting Khabib, you were very emotional afterwards. You put your heart on your sleeve as always, and that's why people admire you so much. Did you believe in the back of your mind though, a couple more fights, I'll be back here? Or was there a part of you in that moment thinking you might never get back there?
When I went back to my room after that fight, I really had a moment like of reality that hit me, and I might never, this could have been it. This could have been the chance, and I just blew it. It's kind of when all the cameras go away, when all the music stops playing, when you're by yourself and you look in the mirror after a fight like that, or you go take a shower and the reality sets in, it's tough. It's tough pill to swallow sometimes, and I just didn't know. I was unsure of the future.
That's probably terrifying.
That's terrifying. Yeah, it is, man, because you work so hard for these things, but nothing's guaranteed, no matter how hard you work. You just do everything right. Try to be a student, learn, and go in there and display what you've been practicing. It's not easy, but right now where I'm at on these runs, when I think about things like that, I'm just thankful for the journey, thankful for the position I put my family in, thankful for the people we've helped out with the foundation, and the list of gratitude goes on and on and on. And I've been trying to draw closer to that throughout the last few years, just looking at all the things that I've accomplished and the things that I'm thankful for. And dude, it's so many, every day is a great day.
Earlier in your life, earlier in your career, were you not as grateful for things? Like, did you take things for granted, and did something change to make you start focusing on that stuff more?
I'm not sure when the exact moment was, but earlier on, I felt like everybody was against me.
Like who?
For some reason, I just had
the public.
Had everything, everybody. Now, maybe it is, but I don't care anymore. I used to care. I just don't care anymore.
You felt like the world was against you.
Yeah.
What made you feel that way?
I don't know. Maybe the way I grew up. Maybe the obstacles I had early in my life. I'm not sure.
Do you remember when you started to feel otherwise?
A few years ago, I started writing things down that writing gratitude, doing different mental exercises each camp of the things that I can control and can't control, and it just kind of put things in perspective for me that I'm doing everything that I can in my power. All the other stuff, you probably heard me say this, is just noise. I can't control a lot of these things, so I can't beat myself up over them.
Do you write in a journal?
Yeah, I have 2 journals here, right here in front of me right now.
How often do you write in them?
Every morning.
What do you write about? Like, is it just life stuff or just like gratitude? Like, what type of stuff do you write about?
Gratitude list. I have a gratitude list I write every morning. Other part of my journal is that circle that I draw that I can control. And throughout camp, on nights that I can't sleep, I watch a lot of footage of Oliveira, or whoever the opponent is, and pick up small things that I think for me to do, things that I think he does well, or just things that I see. And it becomes like a bunch of cliff notes of things that stuck out to me. And I'll just come out and watch fights, and kind of before sparring, I'll look at that page and just kind of think about what I need to be doing and what I need to be trying to do in the rounds, stuff like that.
Who got you into writing?
A mental coach that I started working with a few years back named Jeff Jordan. I don't even know the story how we started working together, but I believe we really started working together around the Anthony Pettis camp. So 3 years ago or so. And he showed me some of these practices that kind of helped me visualize things that's going through my mind. And it really helped me out a lot.
And you still,
and now I've even done it with business now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it helps
me. I mean, everybody's different, but it kind of helps me inside that circle, those things that I write that I can't control. I know that I need to be on top of those things. Everything else are those outside of the circle are those thoughts that creep in, things that we have no control of.
Do you still speak to Jeff?
Yeah. Every week, once a week.
Really? Wow. So you've been talking to him once a week for 3 years?
In camp once a week. Back home, every few weeks, every month, maybe, just like check in.
Okay. And when you're talking to him, is it about just sports related stuff, or is it just life related and it all kind of ties in?
Mostly sports.
Okay.
Mostly sports and controlling my thoughts, but a lot of those things I can cross over into everyday stuff. Like I'm saying with the business stuff, me and him don't talk about business, but I can use these practices on focusing on things that I can control,
Do you think if you don't talk to a mental coach, you don't have the success that you've had over the last couple of years?
That's tough to say. I think it just helped me narrow the bullseye, Maybe before on the target, I had bullseyes all over. It kind of helped me group them close together. So it's a little bit easier to understand where I'm aiming, I would say.
A couple of years ago, and now it's not a couple, it's like 5 years ago, I was covering Dominic Cruz, TJ Dillashaw in Boston. And Dominic Cruz, after that fight, which he won the title after a long layoff. He said something to me that I'll never forget, and I've mentioned it a few times on my show. At the end of our interview, our post-fight interview, I asked Dominic, who had already been champion, I said, is this the happiest moment of your life? And his response to me is something that, again, I'll never forget. He said, no, the happiest moment of my life was when I realized I didn't need a belt to be happy. And when I realized that, I truly became happy. And I'm wondering for you, if you ever had a moment after the Khabib fight where you're like, you know what, life is still great. I have a wife, I have a daughter who I love, I have this great foundation. I don't necessarily need, this would have been great. And by maybe not fixating on the belt, it allowed you to then go on this run now and do so well. Is that possible, or am I reaching here?
No, it's very possible, dude. Like I've said over and over again, me not caring anymore, or care as much as I used to about everything, is that freedom. It's the journey. That's the beautiful part.
Yeah. And now look at you. Literally less than a month away from fighting for the belt again. You've come a long way in a very short amount of time, Dustin. This is incredible stuff. What a story.
Hey, I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying my best.
And so you're in Florida right now, right?
Yeah.
ATT?
Yeah, I just got back home. I'm at a condo now. ATT every day, 2 times a day some days. And putting all the work in, man.
I see the boys from ATT showing up on pro wrestling these days. JDS, Andrei Arlovsky, Lambert wearing a velour suit. I don't know if you saw that this past weekend. He looked incredible. Are we going to see you do some wrestling as well?
I don't know, man. I'm not really into that stuff. I think we've talked about this before. I got so much hate messages whenever I didn't know what wrestler you asked me about on one of the interviews.
Oh, I don't remember this. Maybe I blocked it out of my mind. But have you been seeing Dan do his thing?
Yeah. I see the Instagram clips of all the guys and stuff.
His outfit.
And people.
Yes.
Asked with all flying knee people.
Crazy stuff. I don't know if you saw on Saturday, Lambert showed up in like a full velvet outfit. I don't know what that was, but he actually wrestled himself.
I saw Mike Brown posting a picture of Lambert side by side with Brock Lesnar. They were
That's
flexing,
right. That's right. Yes. That's right. Also back in, when was it now? September, you were honored at the Hall of Fame. You got that great award for your community work. And I'm wondering, obviously that's a big deal, and I'm sure you would love if that's your legacy, what you've done for your community. But when you're at the Hall of Fame, and it's a big deal, and in our sport, there is no MMA Hall of Fame. I think it would be nice if there was one, an independent MMA Hall of Fame where everyone could be remembered, regardless of which promotion you fought for and all that stuff. But that's a different discussion for a different day. When you're there, are you starting to think about when you're actually being inducted for your career? If I will be inducted, have I done enough to be inducted? Did you allow yourself to think of that?
I did. Hopefully at the end of this thing, I would have done enough and can do enough to be, on that list of Hall of Famers. It's an incredible thing to be on. I look up to those guys. It was surreal for me being back there with Bas Rutten and just all the legends, behind the curtains before the ceremony for the show and stuff. It was awesome, man. Great night.
Yeah, and great that you were, that you were honored for that.
And congrats to Max Holloway, man.
Yes, for his community award that he won, that he'll be inducted for next weekend. By the way, did you watch that fight on Saturday?
Yeah, man, that was awesome.
Crazy.
Awesome fight. How tough is Max, man? So durable.
You agree that he's the best boxer in the UFC?
No. No.
Who's the best boxer in the UFC?
Man, me and Thiago Alves was just talking about this. I think Peter Yan.
Interesting.
I really do.
Interesting. Why?
Just the way he moves, the way he doesn't waste a lot of movements. His positioning is always crisp. His footwork, he's never out of position. He's doesn't load up, but he throws clean power shots. Good accuracy, works the body well, goes up, goes down. It's just a lot of things that he does really, really well.
I wasn't expecting Peter Yan. It's a great call. He spent a little time at ATT as well prior to 2 fights ago. I thought you were going to say yourself, since you beat Max. If you beat Max, you're the best boxer in the UFC.
I'm on that list.
Okay.
I'm definitely on that list. I can't say that.
Why not?
I'm not that guy.
Why can't you say that?
I'm not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy.
But you could say, if we're being honest, you do consider yourself one of the best, right?
Well, I can box.
Yes.
Can box.
Would you like to one day?
I would love to. I really would.
Not on a Jake Paul card.
Honest, dude, before I was ever put a pair of MMA gloves on, I was in boxing gyms. I thought I was going to grow up and be a boxer.
And why'd you change? Because of Tim?
This was even before Tim.
Oh, wow.
No, I ran into some guys at a boxing gym who were working on their boxing for MMA. And I was like, wow, you guys are training for mixed martial arts. I didn't know they had a place around here that was focused on that. And then went back with these guys to their MMA gym, and the rest is history, man.
You were at the Jake Paul Woodley fight in August. People hating on you for going there? What was up with that?
I saw, dude, this Instagram and social media shit is so shady, dude. I saw people like post a video of me going in Jake's locker room, make it seem like I was against the MMA mainstream or MMA guys. I went into both guys' locker rooms, and not because I walked back there, because they came get me out of my seat and said, hey, we would like for you to come see the fighters backstage. All right, no problem. I wish both guys a good fight. Let the best man win. I don't care.
Right.
But yeah, I was there, man.
And did you go just as a fan?
Yeah. One of my buddies, Ken Rideout, who's the co-host on Teddy's,
who just won like a marathon. Did he just like get an incredible time?
He's a beast, man.
And he's like 46 or something?
He's a beast.
Damn, that guy. 2 hours? I saw some crazy stat.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. But he was there. He was planning on going to the fights regardless if I was going or not. And he said he had an extra ticket. Him and Jesse Isler was there. Mm-hmm. So I went and meet those guys, and we enjoyed it.
You liked the fight? You had fun?
Yeah, I didn't like how the security wasn't too tight. I felt like that's just me being at like UFC events, Bellator events. You can't just walk up to people in the front row and stuff like that. It was like a damn meet and greet.
That must have been a little annoying.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch the fights. People spilling beer on me. I'm taking so many pictures. I'm just trying to. It's all good. But I will say this one thing: for anybody thinking Woodley wasn't trying to hurt this guy, I was there front row in person, and this looked real to me. I've been fighting in around fights for a long time. I think I'll be able to spot the knot, and it was a fight.
Ridiculous comment. That's from Dylan Dennis. Ridiculous comment. Okay, two last things.
Is that who said that?
Yeah, it was Dylan Dennis who said it. It was just nonsense. But by the way, who do you think wins? Because you were there, Jake Paul or Tommy Fury?
That's a close fight, man. I really think that's a close fight. But I'm not picking.
Okay.
I haven't done any breakdown, any real footage watching.
Okay.
I need to see more Tommy Fury fights. I've only saw one.
what you make of basically the direction Conor's going in since your last fight.
And which direction is that?
Well, the tweets and everything like that, the smack talk.
Oh, him walking in front of the screen when Max is
yeah.
about to fight. Dude, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. December 11th, only on pay-per-view.
How do you win? How do you envision it? How do you see it?
I really think I'm going to stop this guy. 25 minutes is, too long to fight with me and not get hit with the shot, not get put in a bad position. And I'm feeling the best I've ever felt. My body feels good. I'm really focused. I can't wait. I really feel, I don't want to sound cliche. Like I said, after the Khabib fight, I was beat up and heartbroken. I felt like the stars were aligning, and I feel like I have another opportunity here where the stars are aligning, and I put myself in position to really go out there and say I did it, man.
25 minutes or less to make life right.
25 minutes to make life fair. And the more I think about this fight, and I tell young fighters this back home in the gym, these 15 minutes, these 25 minutes, no matter how much pain, no matter how much discomfort you're going through, these 25 minutes are going to last the rest of my life. And maybe this is the last time I ever make that walk to fight for a championship. These 25 minutes mean so much to me that I'm willing to push through anything that presents itself in those 25 minutes, man. I'm ready to go. And I really believe I'm going to be the world champion.
Wow. You give me chills when you say that. And by the way, maybe male fighter of the year, I know it's probably like down on the list of things that you care about if you win the belt. But you and Usman, who's fighter of the year? I don't know. Both 3-0 in 2021. If you win this fight, I mean, that's a really close one.
It's great company to be in, I guess. He's already up there. He's defending his belt, doing his thing. I got to go out there and make this a reality. So talk to me. Let's get on here after the fight. Let's get on here the week after the fight. Deal. Then I'll make my claim for the fight of the year.
Deal. Dustin, appreciate you very much. Thank you as always for doing this. What about this setup? What a pro you are.
Look at this.
I mean, look at you. The internet, flawless. You got the mic, you got the headphones. Well done, my man. Good luck to you in the final month. Can't wait for the fight December 11th on pay-per-view. Dustin El Diamante Poirier going up against Charles Oliveira for the undisputed lightweight title. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you.
Thanks, man.